Yeah. The first time I walked through the Negro Ensemble Company doors, well, I was a late comer to the city. I moved to New York in, I think it was the fall of 2006, I believe it was. And maybe it was 2007 when we were, my brother Jason Durden, my wife Crystal Dickinson, we had gotten cast in the revival of First Breeze of Summer that the Signature Theater was doing, celebrating the Negro Ensemble Company. And we were just so excited about being a part of this, this production, but also the celebration of the NEC. And so Jason and Crystal and myself, we went to the offices on 42nd Street there, and Karen Brown was in the office, and we just went. We told her, "Hey, listen, we knew the town. We're doing this play. Anything that we can do, put us to work." In terms of just generating excitement, attention that the NEC is still here, and we just were so happy just to continue in the legacy started by the great Douglas Turner Ward and all those founding members. And so just the feeling of walking through those doors, even though it was after a lot of transitions with the NEC, you could still feel the magic and the mysticism and the pride in those offices. And and to this day, whenever Karen Brown or anything concerning the NEC needs, me or it calls on me, I do not hesitate. It's still just one of the most important institutions in my lifetime. I believe Douglas Turner Ward is such a significant figure in the theatrical landscape of America and even the world, because Doug had a fearless answer for a question that he posed, Theater for Whites Only, that article that he wrote that was in the New York Times. And a lot of us are good at diagnosing the problems or the questions, but very few of us actually have the courage, the fortitude, the know-how, the grit to actually find those answers. And Douglas Turner Ward, he just so masterfully assembled a group of people who were dedicated and interested in coming up with solutions and answers to the problems that we all knew existed. And so his seminal work, Day of Absence, and all of the work to follow coming through the Negro Ensemble Company, it created a space for us to really wrestle with that question of where's our place in the American theater. I mean, he wasn't the first to wrestle with that question, but in my mind, he was certainly one of the most significant pieces of answering that question that we're still answering today, is in terms of where are the Black stories in the American theater, and who are they for? Who are they about? What are the resonance, and can you put it on par with any other playwright? And I think Doug's answer was a resounding yes. The theater of the African American experience is one that is as worthy as anybody else's story. It is as American as anybody else's story. And I just think his commitment to that certainly has put him into a pantheon of great theater makers, not just about telling the Black story, but really helping to shape and fulfill uh, all of America and all of the stories that go into making up our society and our culture. So I mean, I can't think of another person who is as influential in my career, certainly, than Douglas Turner Ward and the work that came out of the Negro Ensemble Company. Yeah, the day I actually met Douglas Turner Ward, well, I'll talk about the day that I actually had the courage to have a conversation with him. Because I think the day that I first met Douglas Turner Ward, I was way too starstruck. I think it was after one of the performances at the Signature Theater. I was way too starstruck, and I don't get starstruck often. But I don't think I had the wherewithal to have a decent conversation with him the very first time I met him. But shortly after that, I was asked to do a reading when the Negro Ensemble Company was doing a reading series up in Harlem. And Douglas Turner Ward was directing a reading of The River Niger. And the late, great Charles Weldon was playing the father in that one. And anyway, so it was a nice blend of original NEC members and old school people who have matured into those more seasoned characters, and then a group of us, young whippersnappers who were just coming to New York. And so Douglas Turner Ward was, like I said, he was directing that reading, and at this time, he already had the surgery, so part of his tongue was removed. But what was so clear, what was so special about that moment is that none of his intelligence, none of his passion for theater, and even none of his ability to communicate so clearly and specifically the intentions of the play, the playwright, the characters, and give you direction that you could really understand and unlock something for you. All of that was intact. And I just marveled about the man's life force, even in this state of a reading. I mean, he had so much passion and knowledge and insight and care, concern and love for the work and for all of us around that table. It was, I had the courage then to finally take a picture with him, and so I got a couple of good shots from that meeting that I treasure. I printed out and have in the office here. Yeah, the most important lesson I learned from Douglas Turner Ward was to, when you see a need, fill it. Douglas Turner Ward wasn't just about lip service or talk. He was about action. And that speaks volumes. That speaks way louder than any lecture or words or that you can give. It's your actions. And he was a leader. Douglas Turner Ward was a leader. And I look at the body of work that he amassed in his lifetime, and I think, my God, how does one person affect that much change and influence that many people's lives? And I'm not sure if he knew how much change he was going to instigate with his time on Earth, but I'm not even sure if that was a concern of his or not. He just did, without even knowing the consequences all the time of what was going to come out, if it was going to work or if it wasn't going to work. He just knew that there was a need that must be filled, and he was going to fill it. And he believed in himself and he bet on himself to fill those voids. And we're all the better for it. So, like I said, what I really learned from Douglas Turner Ward was, when you see a need, fill it, and have the courage to do so, and bet on yourself, and believe that if you have an idea of how to accomplish or solve that problem or tell that story, then tell it and let the chips fall where they may.